Kia ora, welcome back to the Whāki.
Season 1 review.
We are jumping into episode 18 with Megan Rogerson-Berry. In their episode, Megan talks to us around their journey as an immigrant to Aotearoa, their expression through music, and being involved in the gay community.
Hey. Honestly, another intelligent being, right?
Yeah.
There's still a lot of conversations there for me to dive into. So we would definitely recommend that you dive into the full episode. Megan wakes us up to the nuances within every community in this beautifully articulated whakaaro.
You know, just because we're a queer community doesn't mean we all think the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We all want to live the same, you know. There's difference in our community as well.
Megan then invites all our efforts and energies to be planted on our soils first, before caring for other people's issues in this year.
That racism is institutional in New Zealand. You know, it's in the treaty, you know, like it's in there, you know, and that's a problem that just we can't afford to ignore that. We have to address it. And I just, one of the things that I worry about is that particularly if all of our young people point their attention to America, they forget about New Zealand. And it's a very difficult balance because it's kind of like, well, these are both extremely important movements or conversations to be had, you know, but I don't know, for me personally, I'd rather try and fix what's on my front doorstep first.
Yeah. And it's an excuse of sorts because it's so convenient that you would focus your energy in a performative manner.
Yeah.
Towards America instead of our own, our own soils and our own front doors.
Yeah, I worry about that. I do, you know, because I think, you know, it's good that young people are so on board with this movement, but it's like we need your energy here, you know, we need your anger here, you know, we need you to affect change here.
Megan then invites us to embrace our differences while uplifting the collective harmony of our humanity in this beautiful share.
Music, for me anyway, it's and what's become apparent through this project is that music is an expression of what it means to be human. And everybody's human lived experience is different, but equally important.
Delicious. Is that sitting
So
for you?
good. All of it, just I think as a colonial state, it's really easy for us to focus our attention internationally. So easy, and that kind of plays into that savior complex, right? Of voluntourism.
What's that?
It's tourism based off volunteering. So I'm gonna go to Africa and build houses for a year. That's great, but how helpful is that actually? Because you're gonna go do this thing in a community where you're paying to go do this thing, but you could pay that to invest into people who already live there to build their skills so that they can do it, so that they can look after themselves, rather than you going in and making it and doing the thing to make you feel better about yourself. Yeah. I think
a whole complex.
Yeah. That's what it brought up for me, is the volunteerism.
Hard.
Why are we focusing so much of our attention internationally when we have issues here, and they may not be the same issues, but we've still got some? How do we ensure that there is equitable access to education for young people? That young people are going to school with food in their stomachs and shoes on their feet and a coat in winter. Deal with that first here before going overseas. My opinion.
No disclaimers.
I think there is a place for international aid, but I think that is more beneficial on a governmental level than through volunteerism. Because I think in some spaces and places, volunteerism capitalizes off poverty. Which doesn't sit well with me at all.
Hard.
And it just feeds you. I think it just feeds people's egos. Yeah, like, I'm so good for the world because I went and helped the poor overseas. I went and built houses for people that didn't have houses. I mean, check yourself, man. Jeez. Yeah, what about you? What does this bring up for you?
Yeah, so firstly, thank you, Megs. Like, you're such a bomb thinker and you're such a bomb articulator. There's yeah, I feel like there's something to be said. I think we know this well and we love this. It's about speaking international languages, and we speak the international language of food,
Yes,
and music. So to me, to me, I feel like that's the part that's really speaking to me the most. Is like, what's the harmony point and what's the juice point in all of this? Do you know what I mean? Like. And I feel like that's also catering to so I echo what you said. Like, that's actually catering to the juice point of like, you know, open your eyes to your own issues kind of thing. And if you don't have any issues in your space, it's probably because you're privileging, to quote you, one of your mega quotes. And at the same time, I have this, I have this understanding that this is why for us, and us being Pacific Islanders, and not so much for the whole diaspora, but for Rotumans, this is why, you know, our cultural dances and our ceremonies are so important to us, because they bring harmony and unity, and the village beats it as one. There's no hierarchy between who's up the front and who's at the back and whatnot, and the chiefs are dancing with us. So the perceived hierarchies that Westerners or outsiders, not Westerners, any outsiders, the perceived hierarchy that the outsiders have of our performances, they don't actually understand the spiritual connection that's attached to that, and it's like, for a lot of people, they're like, oh, you know, it's like going to watch it is kind of low-key boring because you don't understand the language and you don't understand that, you know, and I'm like this, feel the wairua. Like, what is your body wanting to do? And if your body's called to dance in a really Rotuman setting, if your body's called to dance, you get up and dance. You don't sit down. You don't wait for permission. And in a lot of ways, that's the type of revival work where I'm like, everybody on the island actually is autonomous, and they actually know that they go to an event to add value to an event.
Yeah.
And I find that in settings that are where the outcomes are already predetermined, you go to an event to watch an event like you're watching it on TV or something, and it's like, you don't go to an event to enrich the event, or to, you know, to I guess for other people it's hollering on the side, but it's like, no, you're adding value by adding your chihu or your whatever you're bringing to the table to offer into the moment. That's enriching the environment, and that's why you see, like, you know, a lot of our dancers being gifted money. This isn't a money dance like strippers. This is like, we're appreciating your dance so much. We don't know how to gift you, and because usually, like in an island setting, you'd be gifting it by going to lay down in front of them, or you'd be gifting it by going to like really dance and like really uplift their dancing capacities. That kaupapa is like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, obviously we're in COVID times, but coming back to the humanity of all of these things, I think like that's where a lot of the arts really come together.
Yeah.
And I feel like I see a lot of different harmonies with interdisciplinary art, like art forms.
Yeah.
Which I see as like, actually that's the same thing as my community coming together to sing as one, and to dance as one, and to uplift, because the songs are potent spells. The songs and the lyrics have a meaning, the movements have a meaning. So you're singing as one, you're moving as one, and you're like shifting the energies in the room, and the spiritual, like the spirituality complex into like a dance is just next level. Like it's sensory overload next level type of stuff. So that's why it's like for a lot of the times, and especially for outsiders who don't understand it, and but they feel it. Like in my head, I'm like, I know you feel that beat in your heart. I know you feel like there's something there, and then it's like that. It's, you know, you feel it, and then it's like, oh no, I'm suppressing it because I've never felt that before. And I'm like, what if we surrendered to the moment? What if we surrendered to the ignorance of the moment of being like, what is this gonna gift of me?
Yeah.
You finna look hella stupid. You're gonna look so crazy, and you're gonna have fun doing it.
What is it gonna evoke in you? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for my beautiful rant. But
No
yeah,
need
so
to apologize. You know this.
That's what, like, because to me, I can really see the interdisciplinary nature of how harmony works in different cultural settings and different spaces and places, and that works for beautiful choirs, and it also works for different modalities. I feel like you have harmonized your skills through photography, and then now you're just elongating it through podcast work. But yes, that's like literally only a few of the mini gems that makes, like, Sonic Gator, whatevs. I really do like the fact that when she talks about signaling, and I feel like that is as a thing between any culture and any type of community of peoples, signaling is a thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So go and check the full episode out. And yes, thank you so much, Meeks. And we're still looking forward to seeing that wedding photo of you and your socks in the living room, okay?
Oh my gosh, yes, please. Please send that to us.
The
Fuck you.
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Bye.